I'm just gonna share my screen with everybody. All right, so good afternoon again, everybody, and welcome to this class. This is an FIT master class. I hope everybody can see my screen. Can you see the shared screen?
Yes, we can. We can.
All right. Okay. So welcome everybody to the FIT master class. All right. We are just going to start. Good. Okay. So this is supposed to be averagely a 6 month challenge. I will call it a challenge. Yeah, it's supposed to be a 6 month intense work to determine if we're going to continue the next 3 years. But it's up to us. All right. So what's the academy about? The FIT Academy is supposed to be a training academy for financial market participants. People that are trading, people that are investors, people that are in finance. Yes, that's what it's supposed to be. And the goal is to help to learn, to unlearn and relearn, just as the words someone said, the illiterate of this century will not be those who cannot read and write, or those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. And those words hold important values to what we're trying to do here. So what does it mean to learn? I know for a fact that every one of us is educated one way or the other. We have gone to school, even if it's primary, secondary, or just a university. That's the first part. The second part is on learning. So what's on learning? There's some things that we have learned and we need to unlearn them. That means they are not correct. So there will be a number of those things there to unlearn what you thought was right, especially as it relates to the financial market. And then the third part is relearning. There are things that we have learned that we need to learn again to fully understand and appreciate. Yeah, so it's also supposed to, this, as honest as it is, this is supposed to also help you discover your niche in the market. So that's, if you are suited or not, and what way you are suited. So honestly, some people might not just be as good trading in the short term. Some might be better at trading on the medium or long term. Why some might just be better, not even trading at all, just be investors or be financial analysts in the market because of the demands of each dimension. So wanting to be a trader is the requirement for being a trader is different from being an investor. So it's supposed to help discover your niche in the market and stick to it. I mean, there's nothing wrong in knowing that this is not fit for you. It's as honest as that could be. It's as honest as that could be, knowing that, you know what, I don't think this is fit for me. So that's the goal of this, to discover what you're really good at and then stick to it. All right, so how will this be done? How will this be carried out? For instance, we know it's really the classes will be online. So just the way you see the fact that we're having courses, some of us, one of us is in Abuja, for instance, and then all over the world, people are scattered. And then as time goes on, we're going to have people join in and connect from across the world, because the goal of this is anybody, anywhere can join in and be a partaker of this. It doesn't have to be a physical location required method of learning. So it's going to be online, and then it's going to be through various courses. So this is basically like a 6-month masterclass to the financial market. It's a 6 months masterclass to the financial market. So you're going to see that we don't do anything with respect to understanding the basics or rudiments of trading. But let me just confirm, I hope everybody has traded in the markets before. Can I get a show of confirmation? You can put a chat. You can say yes or just talk. Has everybody had an experience in the markets before prior to this? I just need either a text or just a confirmation that yes, everybody can everybody confirm that, okay, one way or the other, they've been in the financial markets. I mean, you've traded foreign exchange or just some financial market before. Is that a yes, please? Okay, good. Thank you so much, man. I can see that one or two people have not. All right, so basically, it's not supposed to take you with respect to the rudiment of trading. So it's not supposed to be like, okay, what is this? What is that? No, we expect that you pick up that knowledge prior to this, and then this is supposed to just help you augment it. So it's not like basic or one-on-one. I mean, taking it from, it's not like a primary one level introduction to the foreign exchange market. No, no. For the person that's mentioned that they have not done that before, you would have to do some extra work to catch up. You have to do some extra work to catch up, because some of those times we are not going to be treating them. It's expected that one way or the other you understand some of those basics. Yeah. All right. So, and then, like we said, there are other courses that we have. This is supposed to be a community for anybody, beginners, intermediate, and then even very successful traders. Also, we're going to be using books as just like you have school, you have courses, and then you have books for those courses. We've given ahead one book already, Reminiscences of a Stock Market Operator. Yes, so they're going to be having books over this 6 months. There will be an average of 10 to 12 books sent. So that's probably like a book every 2 weeks. So please, it's required that you get used to reading and reading a lot of time. It will require you get used to reading and reading a lot of time. So books are going to be sent for you to read. Also, we're going to use videos. Thank God for YouTube. There are tons and tons of materials on YouTube. There are tons and tons of material across video sharing sites that we could use. Those things will help us explain things better. They would also help to drive home a point. So from time to time, there will be discussions on either the videos or the books, or the third one is a podcast. So what's a podcast? A podcast is basically like an audio or that communicates just a lesson or something. So it's important that we used to those various means of teaching, and also the community. So what's the community about? Please note that this is supposed to be a knowledge sharing economy. What that means is it's expected that we engage with ourselves. So we are students and we are supposed to talk about what we've done, share observations, share what we've learned, and then also challenge ourselves with questions. So please, we're supposed to make this a community. Let's build a community of people that are helping themselves. And then finally, it's going to be real time. So there will be opportunities to also go into the market, deep dive. That's where you have the live classes. And then we just understand what needs to be done. All right, so that's how this will run. That's our method. Now, please, if you have anything, you could either drop it in the chat, or at the end of the class, you could ask questions. But if at any point you have anything, you can drop it in chat. If we need to go ahead, then we'll go ahead and have it. Else, just put the question in the chat. All right. Then. So next is our promise. What's our promise? This is supposed to be the reason why you're here. A promise is that you are a trader who win, or what we call the 5%. That's the promise of this class. A trader who wins, or the 5%. A trader who win, or the 5%. Now, for you and for everyone that comes in, there are 3 stages to being a successful, being the 5%. The first stage is starting the journey, which is where we are. It could be very, very challenging, but with the combination of all of the things we said, video, books, resources, community, and an ability to just ask questions, we should pull through. So starting the journey, about 80% of people start the journey. And what's required, just the resources required to trade the markets, who provide those things. Now, stay in the journey. 15% of people stay in the journey. So everybody wants to make money. So most people start and they're like, oh, let's see if we can really make money in this. But after a while, as challenges show up, people see how difficult it is. And then some people now discover and begin to make various, find various ways to build competence. So it's 15% of people that really build competence. 50% of people that really build competence. And then the final part, that's where we want you to get to. That's the 5% that succeed on the journey. The 5% that succeeds on the journey. Now, if you have maybe say 20 people start this thing, within the first 6 months thereabouts, you will see 80% of people give up. Within the next 2 years, you see the 15% give up, and then finally, if you're here 3 years plus, yeah, you probably should be able to get to that point of 5%. Should be able to get to that point of 5%. So that's what this is supposed to be. We want to help anybody that comes in, as long as you are willing to get to the 5%. We want to help anybody as long as you're willing to get to the 5%. We want to get anybody as long as you're willing to get to 5%. We want to help anybody as long as you're willing to get to 5%. And why do we think we can? One, we have the kit of experience in the market. Yeah, I'm the first person you're going to see, but as time goes on, you might see 1 or 2 other people also teach. So that combines the decades of experience in these markets. Also, we are profitable because of the level of work we've done. We can tell you that we are profitable, and then in recent years, it has been on a consistent basis. So we're not just teaching theory, we're practitioners and result-oriented. And then also, we are deeply passionate about what we do. This series of classes or lectures, because this is beyond anything but just a passion to raise other successful people in the market. That's the passion to raise other successful people across. And then also, we are not about the money, but the generational wealth. And as time goes on, we would understand more what this means. We're not about the money, but the generational wealth. That is, how can we succeed and succeed and succeed and bring other people to succeed? That's the question. How can we succeed and succeed and succeed and bring other people to succeed? How can we succeed and succeed and succeed and bring other people to succeed? That's the word. That's why it's generational. You see, find out many things that happens in other countries. You will see that there's a chain or line of succession where a father starts something, gives it to the children start, give it to their children and children and children, up until the third and fourth generation. So we believe that this will bring about a consistent level of successful traders from one generation to generation. A consistent level of success from one generation to another generation. So for us is we want to see how and success is reciprocated. It's not just one person out of the myriads of people trading that become successful, but this person is successful and then raises another successful person. So it goes on and on. And then finally, we never say never. So the reason why we're here today is despite all we faced, we never at one point said we were going to give up in the financial market. We never at one point said we were going to give up in the financial market. We never. So we did all that was required to do, going out, looking for courses, reading, studying, making mistakes again and again and again, standing up every time we failed. So that's what happens. So that's what brings us here. And can only encourage you if you can be that consistent to get to that point where you, because you never say never, you become the 5% that win. All right, so over the next 6 months, what's going to happen? This first 6 months, like we said, the first 6 months birth the next 3 years. The first 6 months birth the next 3 years. And over the next 6 months, what that require things. So the goal, the tool, the requirement, and then the cost model. We'll just talk about that, what the next 6 months will look like. You see, it's to get you from start to struggling and then to succeed. That's what the next 6 months is supposed to be. And all right, so let's see, what's the goal over the next 6 months? The next 6 months is supposed to help you understand the financial markets. Understand it. That means you understand how the market works and help you become a trader. That's what this first 6 months is supposed to be. Now, after the first 6 months, then you can begin it. We'll also get to that point where we begin a journey. So the goal is, if after 6 months, it shows that you really, really were made for this and you're ready, then we'll begin the journey to $1 million. We'll begin the journey to $1 million. And by the side, you see a calculation. So if you start with $1,000 and you're doing about 10% a month, which requires work over a period of 144 months or 12 years, you can become a millionaire in the market. $1,000 in our currency's money today is about 500,000, thereabout. So if you're able to create consistency over the next 12 years at 10% a month, you're looking at $1 million. And having $1 million automatically makes you one of the top 1% richest people in the country. Yeah, 1% richest. So we don't have up to 2 million millionaires in the country. I can't remember the last figure, but the research that somebody did, I think they said about, is it 500,000 millionaires, that's in dollars, in the country. So that's about 0.25% thereabouts of people are actually millionaires in dollars. So what we're saying is we want to get you to that point. After the first 6 months, you know if you could begin that journey. That's what I meant. Now, next is if you are really good. There's some people that are really good. They can do 15%. So in 9 years, you're able to do that. And there are people that's extremely good, which is very rare. Over to 4 months, into 7 years. So we project that depending on how well you are, within 7 to 12 years, you should be a millionaire in dollars and become one of the top richest people in the country. That's once you're able to get to that 6-month journey. After the 6-month journey, then you begin the journey to $1 million. All right. So what's required of us? What's required of us? One, please understand, for every 1 hour you have in class, you need to put in 10 hours of work. 1 for 10. For every 1 hour you have in class, you need to put in 10 hours of work. As simple as that sounds. So this class is supposed to be done, was supposed to be done in 1 hour. But you're supposed to now create your own schedule of 10 hours of work before the next class. So there are times when we have 2 classes a week, sometimes 3 classes a week. Roughly, it means you need to, in a week, set out 20 to 30 hours of work in this market, roughly between 20 to 30 hours. That's the requirement. So for every 1 hour you have in this class, you are supposed to put in an extra 10 hours of work. That's what's required. But also, you need to discipline yourself. Like I call it discipline by SSS. So what's SSS? It's an acronym that I give myself some time back. One, discipline by SSS. One is status quo. If you are not the kind of person that can bungle the status quo, you might not be fit for this class. So the kind of discipline required is not what you find around. The kind of discipline required is not to find around. So you have to discipline yourself by doing what is not really, I would say normal. Status quo is normal. What is not normal? What is not normal? So, for instance, I remember while I was preparing for a financial exam, my Fridays and Saturdays, I am always in class. Sundays, after fulfilling my spiritual duties, I go back to class. So usually what you're going to have is people begin to say, oh, what's happening? We don't see you for quote and unquote. You're not going for this, you're not going for that. That's what's required. You can no longer play your life according to the status quo. So you need to make that discipline. People are going for parties. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't make this one. Or people are going for events. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't make this one. Or why? Because you've committed yourself to this thing. That's how you get the best out of this. The next thing is you need to discipline yourself by social media. Okay, so the best way to put this is all of us are probably in 1 or 2 social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, blah, blah, blah. You need to discipline your access to those things because there was a research carried and it said that averagely people spend 3 hours a day on social media. That's 3 hours that you could put into your work here. Yeah, that's 3 hours that you could put into your work here or more. So you need to be very, very disciplined in your engagement with social media. Everybody will have to figure out their own, what they will have to say no to. You have to figure it out what you're going to say no to in terms of what you do on social media. Everybody has to figure that out. I'm not going to, we're adults. Everyone here is an adult, so you'll have to make a decision. Okay, fine. Because of this thing I'm doing, I can no longer spend so time like I do on this. I have to leave this group. I have to not do this. Blah blah blah. You have to discipline yourself. And then the final S, discipline by SSS, is I'll call it stupid conversations, stupid arguments, stupid quote and unquote calls. You just have to eliminate some things. You just have to cut the excess. Things that does not make sense. You don't have time for that again. So it doesn't. So what's stupid? Anything that does not challenge your intellectual capacity is stupid. Anything that doesn't require any level of intelligence to it is stupid. So you have to discipline yourself by those three things. I'll say it again. One, status quo, the things that they expect you to do. Oh, you're supposed to be in this, you're supposed to be in that. You have to say no. I mean, I'm engaged in something now. Two, social media. You have to cut down on some of the things that you probably are doing on social media now. Just focus. It's less watching of just any YouTube video that people send to you, less being on WhatsApp, less scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, any of those things, just trying to catch up with the Genesis. And then second, anything that's stupid, anything that doesn't require intellectual. I mean, there are some discussions you should have. There are some people you shouldn't talk to. There are some conversations that you should not even put your energy on. Just avoid that. So you need to create that discipline. You need to create that discipline. You know, the reason why I use discipline is the most important discovery I've seen in the financial market is it just disciplines you. So if you're not disciplined, the market will discipline you. If you're not a disciplined person, the market will discipline you. So those three things are required. Next, it requires work. Like I had to put that 3 times. Work, and work. If you're working, you will improve. If you're not working, it will show because other people would move faster than you, and it will show with respect to various assignments you're giving. And the long-term value of work is it shows in your returns. That's when you trade. It shows the kind of trader you are. It shows, it just always shows you have to work. And when we start, I'll be sharing with you what it means to outwork everybody. You need to outwork everybody. You need to outwork everybody. This is a very, very required. This one thing that is required. You need to work this market. It's not simple. That's why most people will say it's gambling. It's not simple. I tell you the truth, it's not simple. If it was simple, everybody would be successful in this thing. But because of the work it requires and the fact that it makes you disciplined, you must be ready to do the work. All right. Also, you are supposed to also always, please ask questions again and again. Ask questions of your colleagues. That's why we have a community. Ask questions from people. Oh, what does this mean? Oh, does this mean this, that? Please ask questions. Don't be shy. Like, if you don't ask questions, like they say you lose marks in exams, but here you lose money. If you don't ask questions and clarify your questions, you lose money. So please, it's an open thing. Like, let's ask questions again and again. After this class, ask questions again and again. Ask questions again and again. And then finally, practice, deliberate practice. So the end result of this is once we get to that point of comfort, we have to just go into the markets and then play trades, make money, and invest and make money. You have to practice. You have to put to value what you've been taught. So these are required of us. For every 1 hour, I'll say it, you need to put 10 hours. You need to discipline yourself. There are some things you need to eliminate from social media, societal status quo, and stupid things. And then you have to work. And then finally, you have to practice and then always ask questions and then ensure you have your answers. If you're not sure, ask again, and ask again. All right. So this is what the course model looks like the first 6 months. Months 1 to 6, and then there is a 7 to 36 month. Yeah. So the first month we're going to be talking about working our minds. You need to be mentally prepared for this. So why, how, and what? Why are you doing this? How would you get a success of this? And what's a success like for you? So we're going to spend the first month just preparing our minds. Why am I doing this? I mean, yes, we must have heard about the fact that, oh, the market holds opportunity, blah, 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 but you must have a personal why. As much as possible as we get to as we share with you from our own perspective, why you must have a personal why. Because having a personal why keeps you in the game when others are going out, or when the market shows you that it can whip you. Oh, it can whip you. So having your personal why keeps you in the game when the market is telling you, oh, you cannot do it. You cannot do it. So please, you must have your personal why. It's important to have your personal why. Please, it's important to have your personal why. Now, when you know your personal why, then you know your how. And so the how is, okay, this is why I'm doing this. How do I get there? And then finally, you know your what. What does success look like for me? What does success look like for me? All right, then after the first month, month 2 and 3, that's between the 8th and the 12th week, then the methods. All right, so we're going to be showing you the various tools. Like I said, this is not a class for a newbie. It's expected that you have a prior knowledge of the financial markets. This in month 2 and 3 now shows you the method, the tools of the trade, the things that you're going to use to understand this market. So that's where you now begin to hear things like some of the things that some of us know, the various things that people use, various analyses. I mean, just the tools of the trade, basically. What's required, you can't be a mechanic without having tools, spanner, or I mean, just basic tools that is required. You can't be a carpenter without having your hammer, chainsaw, all of those things. So the tools, for you to be a trader, you need tools. So the month 2 and 3, you put tools into your hand, the tools of the trade. Now month 4 and 5, so from the 20th week, you get to the madness. That's the market. Yeah, it's really mad. Yes, it could be really intense. Oh yes, it could be really intense. So that's the reason why please don't be in a rush to just get in and say, oh yes, let's start. Don't be in a rush. It could be really intense. So that month 4 and 5, once you have your market, you have your mindset as to your why, what, and how, then the market. So you can now get to the market and then fight. Yeah, can I get in the market and then just do what needs to be done? So that's what happened month 4 and 5. And then also between month 5 and 6, so there'll be an overlap. We have what we call make the plan work. It's all that we've been teaching the past 5 months. You now have to make it work with respect to now going to the market and then just growing in it. Remember that thing we shared initially, the first 80% of people that start, then the 15% that struggle. So you start and then get to the struggle phase. And then the final 5% will happen from the 7th month, hopefully, where I mean at the 7th month, we can get everybody to that point to say, okay, fine. Or you can begin your journey to $1 million. Yeah, hopefully we can get everybody to that point. Hopefully we can get everybody to that point. Hopefully we can get everybody to that point. That says, okay, fine, yeah, we can begin our journey to $1 million. But that's the goal. That's our goal, to get everybody beyond month 7. All right. So what happens after month 7? Now, remember we said that for the first 6 months thereabouts, that's where the real thing happens. The mind, the method, and then the market or the madness. But from month 7 and above, it's expected that you're a trader that can hold his or her the markets. And so you move from that teaching to now mentoring. So like we said, we want to make this a community. So you might discover that month 7, you, because of your own work, because of your hard work and what you put into place, you're also given an opportunity to just also teach what you have. Yeah. Yeah. As we have other people coming. So you also share your knowledge with other people. You just, somebody says the best way to learn something is to teach it. The best way to learn more is to teach. So as you learn and you teach, you grow. As you learn and you teach, you grow. So that's what's supposed to happen over. Once you get to the next phase of 3 years, you also now come in and teach. As you teach, you clarify things. And then those of us that make the cuts, then there's also now a coaching one-on-one. So if you're able to make the cuts beyond the 6-month period or whenever it is that it's been certified that you are now a trader class, then coaching one-on-one. What that means is the best players in the world have coaches. The best footballers, the best chess players, the best soccer stars. I mean, they have coaches. And the reason for a coach is very simple: to just continue to improve your performance. So from that month, if you to get to the next 3 years, yeah, so you now have your coach to just improve your performance and then just really, really challenge you to become a better person. And then also, it's at that point where we said, okay, fine. Oh, we're hands-on and you don't have to pay for anything. That's where we now move into the other phase of the program where we just are part of your growth and then we're just taking a percentage of returns of whatever it is that you're able to make, which also inspires us to want to help you succeed. It inspires us to want to help you succeed. And then that's where you now compound. So the compound stage is where your trajectory just goes up. You've seen all those graphs where the lines are just going up, up, scaling. Yeah, it's supposed to, that point, scale. Within these first 3 months, you're about, it's okay if you make some losses, you go in and come out, you lose your accounts. Yeah, but by the time you get to that 3-year journey of coaching, we expect that you now begin to grow a graph of positive, consistent returns. Yes, so that's what is expected. Please, this is like your regular degree where you have to take a class. Give or take, this will probably take us 4 years for you to get to a point where you can stand on your own. Yeah, not really. What I mean by stand on your own, I mean getting to that 5%. Yeah, it's probably like 4 years. It's a 4-year journey. So the first 6 months, where you're given the tools, told about the market, then your own journey now begins afterwards over the next 3 years. Give or take, really. Could be more, but we just put the 3 years to show you what's expected. Within 3 years, if you're able to apply some of the things we've said, you should be able to get to that point of consistent, continual 5%, the 5 of people in the market. Yeah. So that's really important. Really important. Please and please and please, I can't say this again. The value of this is more than 100 times whatever it is that you are being judged. More than 100 times whatever it is that you're being judged. So, like we said, please try and clear these times. We mentioned 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Try and clear these times in your daily schedule. 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. is really important. Try and clear these times because that's where what we said, the discipline, the SSS, status quo, social media, and societal expectations. Please, you need to begin to have your mind towards it, because that's where the real opportunity comes. Knowing that, okay, fine, I'm either in my class or I'm studying 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. So just put like a 2-hour window, 10 to 12, 5 to 7 is important. You have that frame of reference, frame of mind. Because, for instance, anywhere you are in the world, the United States market starts by 8:30 their time. Now, 8:30 their time is 2:30 Nigerian time, because EST, Eastern Standard Time, they're about 6 hours ahead. So it will never wait for you. It will say, oh, fine, I'm on the hold up in Lagos Island, so let the market suspend its operation. No, it won't. It won't say, oh, I'm trying to get some level of work done somewhere, so let's stop. The market does not stop because of anybody. The market does not stop because of anybody. So if our minds are already attuned, then we're able to just make the best use of it. But if our minds are not attuned, it catches up with us. Or it catches up with us. If you're not used to a specific frame of reference in respect to what time you get to the market, you're just going to discover that, oh, you got to the market one day and then the market had gone against you and you lost all your money. Yes. So please, that's why this is important. Have this specific frame of reference. Say no to many things. You need to discipline yourself, like we said, social media, status quo, and then stupid things. Just say no. Just say no. You don't just say no. It's as simple as that. Just say no. No, I'm not doing this. No, I can't do this now. No, I can't do this. It helps. It helps. And then, like we said, for every 1 hour of class, you need to go back and do 10 hours of work. 10 hours of work. Yeah. So in a month, an average of 10-hour class should result to 100 hours of work or 25 hours every week. So you need to sit down and plan your schedule about these things. The best students are prepared for exams any day. The best students are prepared for exams any day. That's what the market is for you. I mean, just when you least expect things to happen, they just happen. But if you're prepared, oh well and good, you just, oh yeah, I know this, I can handle this. Yeah. And then, like we said, the journey is the first 6-month journey. And then down the line, we grow into better traders. And then if we succeed after the 6 months, we get into the 3-year journey of just growing and becoming the best that we can be. 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 All right, so this is what I call 5% thoughts. It's from the book that we are currently reading, just to keep us provoked with some of the things that we would enjoy, or some of the things that this market entails for us. Yeah, so it's at this point, I don't know if anybody wants to clarify anything, or we want to ask any specific questions or observations. It's at this point that we need to just ask, or just, like we said, it's one of those requirements. Don't ever shy away from asking questions. Don't ever shy away from asking questions. It's one way to become reliably successful, to be consistently profitable. Don't ever shy away to ask questions. So do you have anybody wanting to ask any questions or clarify any thoughts? Well,
Hello, good evening.
All right, good evening, good evening.
Yes, Mrs. Elewa speaking.
Oh.
Thanks for the lecture. The question I want to ask is regarding the 10, you talk about 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Is there a specific thing that we'll be doing by 10 a.m. in the morning?
All right, so the classes are supposed to happen either 10 a.m. or 5 p.m. But it's important that we put that in our diary. So with our starting now, for instance, next week, we're going to have just 2 classes. I think that will be maybe 10 a.m. on Monday and then maybe 5 p.m. on Friday. The rest of the time, we're supposed to be using to do some of the things that we are assigned to do. But if you already know that, okay, fine, 10 a.m. is my time of the time I give to the market. If you're not having classes, you're studying. If you're not studying, you're doing one thing related to the market.
Okay.
And 5 p.m. also. So it keeps you in the game. It keeps you in the game. It keeps you in the game, knowing that, okay, fine, I need to do this. For now, the classes will just probably be twice a week. Then as time goes on, the classes will now be more, maybe 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. So if you're trusting a particular thing, maybe we do it at 10 a.m. And we try to make the class 1 hour, maximum 1 hour, 30 minutes. That's what you notice I'm looking at. I'm mindful of time. The classes will just be really short, straight to the point, and then everybody has an opportunity to go and reflect, and then we meet in the next class. We don't want to drag too much. So the classes, it's rare that we'll ever have a 2-hour class, except when we have live classes. But basically, the classes are supposed to be straight to the point. You already have your PowerPoint presentation, you have the work you're supposed to do, and bam, you are good to go. So if you're having a class by 10, you know by latest by 10:30 we're done. If you have a class by 5, you know latest by 6:30 we're done. No, there isn't too much. We want to make it really compact because that's where the market is also. You do what you need to do and then you move on. There's no holds bar whatsoever. So that's what we're trying to replicate. We're trying to replicate as much as possible what the market looks like. The market open at a particular point every day in Tokyo, Japan, and then it moves to Australia, Netherlands, and New Zealand, and then it comes into United Kingdom, and then from United Kingdom it goes to Europe. From Europe it goes to United States, and on like that. It's like the sun. It's like a clockwork. It does not stop. It goes on like that every day. Tokyo, 10 p.m. our time. Then it goes to Australia, and then New Zealand. And then from there it goes to the United Kingdom. From United Kingdom, it goes to Europe. From Europe, it goes to London. And then again, it's a clockwork, Monday to Friday. So the reason why we ask people to put that time out is it just keeps you in the game. This point, I'm supposed to be doing this. And so I don't know. I hope that clarifies your question, ma'am.
Yes. But on the is it the info you said you talked about 12? You talked about Tuesday and Thursday. So I want to get clarity on that.
Okay.
You said Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Then you now talk about Tuesday and Thursday again. So I didn't really get it.
Okay. So just like the way you have, I don't know. I'm not sure if we've started doing it in this country, but in advanced countries, you have your professor come to class, take your classes, then he will give you his office hours. So what are office hours? Where you can come and discuss with the professor what you've learned in the class, or what you need clarification after after she or he has taken their class. So office hours are Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I want to make this as academic, as academic as it can be. So your office hours, you come and then you discuss. So it's not a class as it were. It's more like, okay, what we learned on Monday, let's have an office hour on Tuesday. Okay, I needed to clarify 1 to 3 things such that it helps me to further improve my trading performance. So the essence of the office hours are, okay, what we learned on Monday, or what we learned on Thursday, or what we learned on Friday, I need to, I need questions answered. That's the essence of the office hours. So they are not classes, as it were, and they are not compulsory, as it were. Tuesday and Thursdays, they are not classes, as it were, they're not compulsory, as it were. But it could be just, oh, we need to clarify something. Can we have an office at 10 o'clock or 5 p.m.? So it's opened. It's opened. And because the reason why is outside of those times, the professor or the lecturer might not be available. That's why they do it like that. But okay, these times, 10 o'clock, 5 p.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays, I can come in and then the professor will be available. So that's also what I want to put in. Because, for me, for instance, I have a very regimented lifestyle. I'm trying to make it really as consistent as the sun. It's not easy, but that's what trading has done for me over the years. So I wake up at a particular time. I do specific things at a particular time. I get in to start trading at a particular time. I stop trading at a particular time, just like that, clockwork. It's not perfect, but that's what trading has done for you. It just makes you regimented. So the essence of the office hours is, okay, fine, I need to clarify 1, 2, 3 things. Can I speak to the lecturer or the teacher? That's the essence of the office hours, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Why the live classes? I mean, the live classes are when we start trading in the markets. This one's because if, for instance, we're trading in the London market opens 8. You want to be there like an hour before, like 7 or 6:30. And then the American market opens 2:30, depending on the time of 2:30 or 1:30 at time. So you want to be there like maybe 1 or 12 o'clock. So that's where the live class, so that you can really understand the market before it starts. So I hope that clarifies it.
Yes, thank you. And finally, please, this the Zoom program, will it be recorded? Is it being recorded so that we can get the video clip later so that we can go through it?
Okay, yes. For the classes, just the classes. Yes, it's on Zoom. We'll give everybody a private link based on the email address. Based on your email address, so you get a private link. So just go back and then just check it. Yes, so yes, you can have access to the Zoom class after the session.
Thank you very much. I think that's all.
You are welcome. Very welcome. Is there any other question before we bring this session to a close? So please let's note our next class will happen on Monday, 10 p.m. 10 a.m. So here, please maintain the same link. Monday, 10 a.m. We're here for our first class. Yeah, Monday, 10 a.m. So all of the things, all of the instructions, all of the requirements, for the first week will be sent ahead. Some of the things we already have, like the book, we've been given the book to read. Yes, so that's one of those requirements. Yeah. All right. Is there any other question before we call this a good evening or happy weekend? So just use this weekend to just tell yourself, okay, this is the last weekend where I'll just enjoy myself. Or was it because next weekend, I mean, there'll be a lot of work. I can let you know there'll be a lot of work. Yeah, there'll be a lot of work. Okay, so if there are no other questions, I think don't forget, learn, unlearn, and relearn. Please don't forget. This is about learning, unlearning, and relearning. Please don't forget. This is about learning, unlearning, and relearning. All right, so thank you, everybody. I would see you on Monday for our 10 a.m. Yes, Monday for 10 a.m. Yeah, 10 a.m.